Hello Dairy Today viewers, from the Stuart Peterson Advisory Team. Here's your Dairy Week in Review, closing the week of February 10th, 2012. We'll wrap up the trading week here on Friday by taking a look at our component prices. As you can see, pretty much negative across the board with the exception of our March whey contract, so good to see some signs of life there because that market has been pounded here over the last few weeks. But moving back to our cheese market, we did see both blocks and barrels down a penny. One thing to take note of there is the barrels moving to a premium above the blocks. Actually, the historical spread was with blocks at least a 2 to 3 cent premium above the barrels, so we will need to see that shake out and correct that spread with either blocks playing a little bit of catch up to gain on the barrels or the opposite with barrels falling back behind the blocks. Moving to butter, we did see some additional weakness there, down 6 cents for the week, so we did get below that 145 level. And moving back to our powder markets, once again, March whey really showing some signs of life, moving higher for the week, nearly settling right at 58 cents, just below that. And also non-fat dry milk was down for the week, down 2.5 cents. Now looking at our class 3 prices, did see some very significant weakness here. Once again, pretty much spread across the board, and we'll start with our front month contract. And with only about 2 more weeks of trading, February should settle at least above 16 even, but we'll see how that shakes out. Once we got to our second month and beyond, we did see once again some significant weakness spurred on by cheese prices moving lower. So as you can see, March and May hit the hardest, down 32 cents, and the rest of these nearby months going out to July, pretty much in that same range. Also looking at our class 4 prices, and these were hit even harder with butter prices down hard throughout the week. As you can see, April down significantly, down 64 cents for the week, and also saw some weakness in the more deferred months as well. Flipping over the charts to take a look at our 2012 class 3 average price, as you can see, we are really at a key level of support. This is where we bottomed out in actually October of 2011 at 1640. You can see we really held the line in the sand there and started to move higher. And over the past few months, you can see essentially where we topped out, close to 1750 to 1760. With this recent sell-off, we are reaching back towards those October lows. Actually, today we closed right at 1640. As you can see, we did trade beneath it throughout the week, but did have a little bit of buying interest to close the week. So we are once again really at that key level of support, which really will be a pivot point for this year. This morning, the latest numbers for dairy exports were released for the month of December, as well as the final numbers for 2011, so we'll go ahead and dive into those a little bit. First, looking at total dairy exports, and then the top 3 products we follow, cheese, butter, and whey. And on a time basis, we'll compare them to the previous month, looking at November, and also to the previous year for that same month, December, and then looking at the total numbers for the year compared to 2010. So starting with total dairy exports, we did take a dip there, down 2.8% compared to November, so definitely starting to see really the first signs that that higher trending dollar is starting to affect our dairy exports. Compared to the previous December, though, we did see some gains there, up about 1.7%. And for the year, we did reach new records, up 8%. So once again, reached new records for both quantity and value for the year. So very supportive there. Also looking at cheese, just up a touch, up 1.2% compared to November. So really, I'm starting to slow that growth of export demand as we moved into the tail end of the year. Also compared to the previous year, up as well, 2.27%. The big number here is looking at the total numbers for the year, up nearly 30% compared to the previous year, so very strong year for cheese exports. Butter, we saw a little bit of a different story there. You can see some sharp losses compared to the previous month, down nearly 17%. Also compared to the previous year, even sharper losses there, down nearly 27%. But for the year, we did manage to finish in the green, up 12.1%. And finishing with whey, also down compared to the previous month, down 2.8%. Compared to last December, did see some green there, up 4.1%. And compared to the previous year, pretty much unchanged, but down just a touch. Taking a look at where these dairy exports have been heading, this pie chart represents the top 10 dairy export destinations for this past year. So we'll start with the top 4, with Mexico leading the pack, with our exports going there nearly 29% actually. And also China falling behind at number 2 at 19%, and Canada at 11%, and Japan at 8%. So those are the top 4, and from there we started to see things really flatten out in that 7 to 6% range, and also Malaysia and New Zealand rounding out the pack at 4%. Now taking a look at our total U.S. dairy export volume and how we've been trending nearly over the past 10 years. So you can see back from 2001, just the steady and consistent growth we've seen here, with the exception of 2009. You can see where our dairy exports dropped off there, But in the past 2 years, you can see just how well we've rebounded from those 2009 lows. From 2009 to 2010, up nearly 40%. And once again in this last year, up 8%. And once again, record volume and quantity for our export markets. Looking into next week, a few things on our radar. The first one being that cash cheese market. We have seen some very significant buying interest down at the bottom end of the range here, so definitely some value buying. Hopefully that could carry over into next week and we can see things start moving higher, at least in that 150 range in the short term. Also, we do have a few reports. Global dairy trade auction is on Wednesday, February 15th, so we will get a snapshot of where our international prices are trending. In the last report, they did touch back just a little bit, so very interested to see where those prices will come in at. Also, our January milk production report is coming out on Friday, February 17th. From the Stewart Peterson Advisory Team, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.